Welcome to Kentucky Football Nation. Well, I just wanted to take a few minutes and thank all the subscribers on the channel. 1 year ago this week, I put on my first video. I had 0 subscribers. After 1 year, 1,264 subscribers in 12 months. That's not bad. That's about 100 subscribers a month. But I remember when I started, I was thinking, man, can I get to 100? You can't do a live till you get to 100. And then you get into 500 was hard. But let's go back. I wanted to do a football channel because I am 50% football, 50% basketball. Now, most people aren't like that. They might be 20% football, but they're 80% basketball. The majority of my friends don't even watch football. So I thought, man, I really like football. I've always liked Kentucky football. And so I told my wife, I think I'm going to do a football YouTube channel. She's like, are you out of your mind? Why won't you do a basketball channel? Because I know it's on basketball. Look, there's a lot of basketball channels because Kentucky basketball is easy, right? Most of the time we're good. We're going to see at the end of this year if we're good. I don't know. I'll let you know in a couple of weeks when the season's over. But, it's easy to do, right? We're going to have the number 1 players. We're going to have a good coach, maybe. And, it's going to be all rainbows and sunshine. But football, whole different animal. So I looked around. I didn't see the locker yet. There's some good channels. We'll go over some channels. But I didn't really see any channels that talked about football, Kentucky football, or that impressed me. And I'm not talking about KSR. I'm talking about regular fan channels. So I thought, I'm going to do a fan. I could do this. So I started doing some research at the end of 2024. And what I quickly realized was, because I put my first one out in March, January, February, I realized real quick that Mark Stoops is in trouble. Mark Stoops had went 7-6. He had 1 4-8 season. Not acceptable. Okay. For the Feinbaumers. I'm talking about, if you watch Paul Feinbaum, those good old boys on the SEC podcast, Cousin Shane, whatever his name is, Josh Pate. Now, it's a bias. It's a good old boy network. So let me tell you about myself real quick. If you don't know, I live in Evansville, Indiana. I moved here in 1992. Prior to that, I grew up in Western Kentucky, Madisonville. Then I was in the Air Force, stationed in 8 years, several different places. But I was stationed in Columbus, Mississippi, which is 30 miles from Starkville, 60 miles from Tuscaloosa. So I learned all about Alabama, and I learned all about Mississippi State, Ole Miss. I went to Oxford. Then I went some other places, Alaska. Then I came back to Montgomery, Alabama. I learned about Auburn, Auburn. So there was a good old boy network back then. I just didn't realize it. So when I started researching this channel, I started really looking into who's talking about SEC football. I went, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. That bias, I had no idea that, and that was in the 80s and early 90s. And I didn't realize that bias is still there. I didn't realize, Paul Feinbaum, hates Kentucky, Tennessee grad. We're just a basketball school. All the Feinbaumers. Still. So I knew, they were giving Mark Stoops grief about having 1 losing season. 1. Meantime, Hugh Freeze, Billy Napier, they all get a pass. You're going to see it now. John Summerall is going to get a pass, but we're not. Okay. So before I go any further, if you haven't been listening to my channel, if you're looking for validation from the Feinbaumers and SEC Network and football, you can forget it. It's never going to happen. Now, if Will Stein does well, they'll use him. Mark Stoops did well, they used him. They used him when they need him, but he ain't getting a break. Will Stein will not get a break. We will never get a break. We're a basketball school to them. We'll get validated in basketball. We'll never be validated in football from the Good Old Boy Network. So don't look for it. And when I say Good Old Boy Network, I know what I'm talking about because I was there. I just didn't realize that it still existed until the SEC Network and then YouTube came out. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, this still, yes, it is. Okay. So I knew real quick, Mark Stoops, they wanted him gone. Then our own media wanted him gone. That's what really surprised me and pissed me off. I will say pissed me off. Yeah, it did. That our own guys were going on their channels and dogging out Mark Stoops. And I'm thinking, man, what the hell? Are you guys out of your mind? Okay, now, the season turned out like it turned out. And yes, we did need a change. But they set Mark Stoops up to fail. They didn't give him any money for a roster. That's why you didn't see the numbers on last year's football team. You'll never see it. One day it's going to come out how much it was, and it wasn't enough to keep him. So they set him up to fail, and he failed. But we won't relive that. But that's what I started out with. Was I knew, oh, Mark Stoops is in trouble. I did a Mark Stoops funeral video. I buried him, had his funeral. That was my most watched. That's the first video that kind of went viral, where I just did a mock funeral for Mark Stoops because I knew they were going to bury him. It was obvious that when you got your own media going on there. Now, to you boys on KSR, if you got some guts, Mark Pope has a bad year. Let me see you go on field of 68 and dog out the basketball coach. Yeah, that won't happen. But anyway, I digress back to what we were talking about. So I thought, you know what, I can do this. So I started doing some videos because that's all I couldn't do live till I get 100 people. So I did videos. I just, started getting a couple hundred views, slowly worked my way up to 100 subscribers. Then I don't know how to do a live. I've got a regular webcam, just a $30 or $40 webcam, cheap microphones. My headset that I use is an expensive headset, but that's all I use. There's no graphics. There's no what you see behind me. If you see me do a live, whatever's in my office / bedroom, it's really more of an office than a bedroom, but it has a little day bed in there. And that's all I got, a UK flag and a helmet. And so, yes, I started doing watch parties for the football games. And yes, I enjoyed that. And there's a lot of good channels. We're going to talk about some smaller channels because it's not just me. There's a lot of people on YouTube. You have a lot of choices on what you can interact with. So you don't need the UK network. First of all, the UK Football Network pregame show puts me to sleep. No offense to Dusty Bonner, whatever that lady's name, Mary Jo Perino, whoever she is, and the people that do that. Man, boy, you don't have to listen to it if you don't like the basketball game. But I like KSR. I will say that. I know sometimes I will give KSR a hard time because I feel like the people that cover football, well, I don't feel like it. They don't know football. It's your job to cover football and you don't know football. That's one reason when I started this channel, I said, oh man, this is going to work. I thought about changing the name. Some of you know I thought about changing the name because we cover basketball. But I thought, no. I thought I knew football, but I said, I know I can do as good a job than these guys who are there in Lexington every day at practice. And, I said, okay, I know I can do as good a job as them. So that's my goal this is a fan channel. But, when I first started, first person, once I got to 100 subscribers and started doing a live, Georgia Bulldogs. How about those effing dogs podcasts? Randy, shout out to Randy, the first person. I said, Randy, I'm trying to do a football channel and Kentucky football channel. And he goes, well, there's obviously a need for one because so you should do it. And he encouraged me. First guy other than Kentucky guy to encourage me. I enjoy watching Uncle Lou. That's a smaller channel. Sports Talk J, Tennessee guy. Sports Talk J, I thought, I watched this channel. I thought, I really like his style. He just talks. Sports Talk J, one of the fairest guys, never gives Kentucky a hard time. Always tells it like it is. So I really like, shout out to Uncle Lou and Sports Talk J. Of course, Uncle Lou, you all got to know him if you like football. Now, he will, he'll light your ass up if you go on there and get smart or say something stupid. But that's okay. But no, Randy was the first guy to say, hey, man, you should keep doing this. Because I thought about, man, this season could go bad. So we end basketball season last year, and we did okay in basketball. And so I got in at the very end of basketball. We had played Tennessee, and I think we had beat them or before the end of the year. And then they beat us in the tournament, and But we had beaten Illinois and whoever we played first. I forgot the team. But anyway, so I enjoyed basketball. And I was doing basketball, and I enjoyed that. But then it was talking about spring football, and that's when it was like this. Because I thought, okay, Zach Calzada, he might do well. No, now Cutter Bowley's in. We start out Ole Miss game. They picked us to go 2-10. The good old boy Fine Bombers were the 16th. We're ranked 16th again this year. These guys, I tell you what, man, when you're so biased that you can't think straight, there's something wrong with you boys. We ain't coming in 16th. We didn't come in 16th this last year. We came in 11th. You might say, well, that's still 11. You're still 5 off. So, and you get paid to do this. Okay. But they said, well, Will Stein, it could be, more. No. We ain't coming in 16th. But I love those guys. But anyway, it started out football season was just, you either hated Mark Stoops. There was 2 camps. I was pro Mark Stoops, and there was con Mark Stoops. And the con Mark Stoops, way more people. We were going, but we did beat Toledo. We almost beat Ole Miss. That's when we put Cutter in. Cutter had to play on the road at South Carolina, so we went through some growing pains. But we won. We won 5 games. It came down to the Louisville game, and we quit. We quit in that game. We had a lot of people who were 1-year players who were done. They were going to get paid. Louisville jumped on us. It's cold out there, and you can watch the tape. They just quit, which really made me mad because, I knew he probably lost his job. Cutter went to Arizona State. Of course, Julie, one of his aunties, is on my show. CJ Green, Sam Green's brother, is a member of the channel. Zach Calzada joined the channel back in the spring. Shout out to Zach Calzada. I didn't badmouth him, but that whole football season was, up and down, up and down. We beat people. We could have beat Texas. Should we have ran the ball well, first of all, we didn't run the ball 4 times. We ran the ball 3 times. We passed it on second down. It didn't complete it. But anyway, look, it was what it was, and people wanted him gone, and we're not going to sit here and debate that. But that's what really, I didn't know when Mark Stoops at the end of the year, I thought, oh my God, this channel is going to go really, really bad. But we picked up Will Stein. So look, a lot of optimism going into this, this offseason. The spring game. We're gonna have a spring game in April. We're gonna do well. Will we win games? I don't know, guys. We need somebody who can throw for 3,000 yards, and we already did this with the air raid guys. We had the best quarterback in the history of our program. We went 7-5. Why? Because when you play a spread, and I know Will Stein's not gonna play like this. When you play a spread and you don't score, you keep giving the ball back, or you do score, you're giving the ball back, and it becomes a scoring contest. And Tennessee would just kick our ass every year. Go back and look at the air raid years, which we only ran the air raid really for 4 or 5 years because we had we couldn't run the ball. So as you remember, we couldn't run the ball on the goal line because we're in the shotgun. So you can play a spread and throw the ball, last time somebody threw for 3,000 yards, KSR boys. What was our record in 2011? I think you said 6-7. 6-7. It doesn't mean you're going to win because you throw the ball more and it's more exciting. Okay, I keep saying. So we want to get our ass kicked excited instead of 16-13 Texas. We need it to be 52-35, and that would have been more exciting, a more elaborate ass whipping, I guess. So for God's sakes, I'm not in Lexington. I don't go to the games. But, man, I get tired of hearing about the game experience and what music they play. And, come on, guys. Seriously, let's just win some games. For God's sakes, I hope the fan experience is better. I hope they play Waka Flocka or whatever damn song you guys want to hear. And I hope it's a great experience because, Jesus Christ, I'm getting tired of hearing people bitch about everything. The music, they don't stand up. People stand up. Come on. It's sports. But anyway. I do want to say this has been a long video already. I'm already going 13 minutes, but I've enjoyed it, guys. I enjoyed the lives. We don't always talk about sports. It goes off into my job, goes off into health, music. We'll talk about anything. When I have a live, I'll have a couple subjects, but if you want to come on and talk about something, a player or football, basketball, I'm game to talk about anything. I've tried to learn as much as I can about football. I am learning. If you really want to learn football, go on The Locker with Van Hiles and Anthony White. I can't believe they don't have more subscribers. But they go in depth. Those guys played college football. They played high school football. They played here during the air raid, during the time we have spread offense, and they'll tell you. Anthony White will tell you. I like those guys. So if you want to know football and you want to learn football, go to those guys because they played. I'm just trying to learn it as a fan. So anyway, there's a lot of small channels. I was able to go on a couple of podcasts, Concussion Protocol, talk Arizona State podcast, talk about Cutter Boley. Of course, Jackson from Big Blue Breakdown. Shout out to Jackson for having me on his show. I said Randy. Wildcat Highlights. I use his videos. That's a channel you should, maybe be subscribed to because there's highlights. But yeah, The Locker. Look, there's all kinds of smaller channels. You got Wildcats Today, the Catacan, there's a Kentucky Blue Balls guy. If you want to just hear commentary, there's a lot of channels that you can pick from. You do not have to listen to the Kentucky network and I'm not saying, I do want to say I'm a fan of KSR. Okay. I'm a fan of Matt Jones, the radio show, Drew, Ryan, Shannon, those guys. Look, we all use them. We all use that site. We all use them for information because they're in the know. So I like them. Some of the writers, okay, I'll give them a hard time, but look, they're still on the team, okay? They're still in the family, so I can't give them too hard of a time. But I mean, come on, guys. Sometimes, yeah, you got to let Mark Stoops. We're still talking about Mark Stoops. I don't know why. Compared Mark Stoops to Mark Pope. I mean, come on, man. Yeah, Mark Stoops didn't have the biggest number one roster in the sport like Mark Pope did, so it's kind of hard to compare. I know what you were doing, and that's cool, but yeah, let's get into Will Stein though. Will Stein's a sexy guy right now because he's from the Big Ten. All the good old boy Fire Bombers, they want they want other coaches. Auburn's new coach, they want John Summerall. They love them some John Summerall. Best coach up and coming. Maybe I don't even know what the hell conference he was in. He got his ass kicked twice. He got in the playoffs. God bless him. Beating Army. I looked at who's in his league. If Army's in your league, you probably ain't that good. But he may turn out to be a great coach, and Will Stein may not. Or they might both be bad coaches, or they may not. I don't know. Will Stein's never been a head coach. I can't tell you what he's going to do. I can't tell you what Minshew, our quarterback's going to do because he never started before. You got teams like SI just did an article. You got Texas A&M, LSU spending $60 million on a football roster. How can we compete with that? How can we? I keep saying I don't think Matt Jones said this very early on in this NIL world. You're not going to be able to be good at two sports. If you try, I've said this. If you try and be good at two sports, you're going to be average at both. You're going to be average. You got to pick one. Indiana, they laid off of basketball for a while. They might not even make the tournament. They don't care. They just won the national championship in football. Why? Because they went all in on football for the most part. They left a little on basketball. They went in. And they got a good coach, and they got the right players, and they coached up 3-stars, and they didn't need high school players. So they gave you kind of a blueprint. Now, for us to even come anywhere near that, we cannot spend, and we're going to have to buy an entire basketball team because Mark Pope can't get any high school players. So now, I mean, we'd had to buy some of them. Now we're going to have to spend $20-something million, if not more, probably more than that. Probably 30 minutes. That takes away from football. That takes away from women's basketball. Takes away from baseball. And I forgot volleyball. Whoever else I forgot what the 5 sports we're trying to fund, 5 or 6. But anyway, hard for us to be good in football. We have a good starting 11 on both sides of the ball. We don't have backups. We're thin at wide receiver. We're taking chances on players who have been hurt. Our best wide receiver, been hurt bad. I mean, not hurt a little. I mean, like missed a season. CJ Baxter, running back. Barnes, hurt. As we're gambling on, some hurt players, and that didn't work out so well in basketball. So far. But anyway, no, I did want to, I started going off on a tangent here. Sounds like this is what happens when we're on a live. I start out with one thing and we just go wherever it goes. But no, yeah, I did give a shout out to some people. The best channel really is Loyal BBN Fan Show. That's the best one, guys. You got Big Mike, BC, Jimmy Jam, and Miss Lee. That's the show you should be subscribed to. They have a pregame basketball. They have a postgame basketball. They have a call-in show on Thursday. If you're not subscribed to them, you should be. That's probably one of the better smaller. That's my favorite small channel, Kentucky channel. They do it well. And they're fans, just like we are, just like you are watching this. And if you're one of my subscribers, 1,200, I got to know a lot of you. I appreciate everybody that watches. And I've only had to block a handful of people, really. Some Tennessee fans, probably some Louisville fans who are pretending to be Kentucky fans, but not many. I mean, 10 maybe 10 people, not very many. Most people are cool. Look, you can come on here and talk about whatever you want. I don't care if you want to talk about Indiana or Louisville. Julie's a Louisville fan. We let her talk. Anybody can talk. We just want to talk sports, But no, I've been going 20 minutes. I can't believe I've been going that long. I've enjoyed it. What are we going to do the rest? I'm going to keep going. I mean, we're going to start with Will Stein. Basketball is going to end here. Okay, we're going to find out about Mark Pope. Is he a good coach? I don't know. Can he coach at Kentucky? I have no idea yet. It's a mixed bag with him. There's things I like about him, and there's things I don't like about him. Will Stein, we don't know anything about him. He was a great coordinator. Okay, good. Can we win 5 or 6 games? I hope so. But it's a tough schedule. 9 SEC games. Yeah, and they did not expand the playoffs, so it's still 12. So, there's going to be a lot going on when basketball ends. Let's make a run here and get to Nashville and make a run, let's make a run in the NCAA tournament. Man, I would like to see us, guys. We got to win at least 2 games in Nashville, and at least 2 games in the tournament to be successful. If we don't, it's not going to be a good off season. Not being able to get any high school players, bad sign. Players saying they're going to leave. Jasper Johnson. I've heard Mo Diabate. I've heard Jelovic's leave. I don't know if any of it's true, but not good, guys. Not good. We're going to have to go buy a team, and that's the way it is now. You'll buy your players, and then we're going to transition right into football. So I put on 540 videos in 12 months. Now, a lot of those are shorts. I like doing shorts. Basketball, if we win a game, I'll put a short on every night till the next game of somebody playing football. I'll put on shorts in the summer from football shorts from the 70s, 80s, 90s, so you can see all the players if you're younger. And so I like doing shorts. I'll put post up polls. I love doing a poll to see what people are thinking. Lives, I'll do a live. Like I said, I'll just turn on the notifications. If it's a football game and my work schedule, I will do I will do a watch party for a football game. And let me tell you what, when you do a watch party for a football game, the football game is like 3.5 hours. If I come on 30 minutes before and stay 30 or 40 minutes after, I've talked for like 4 or 5 hours, and I enjoy it. But man, that's like running a marathon talking that long. But hey, I like to talk. If you follow this channel, you know that, because I've been sitting here just going off for 22 minutes. I usually I try to hold videos to guys under 10 minutes. I don't like to do long videos. I get in there, make my point, get out, and let you talk. But today, as I close, I've said a lot of things here in 22 minutes. Thanks. Thanks. I appreciate it. Gonna keep going. When we have a live, you get to, if you want to talk about something, jump on there. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's just going to be me. It's just me. I'm the producer. I'm the director. I'm the editor. I'm the host. It's just me, guys. It's just me. Just a fan, a 60-year-old guy who's been around. Look, I've seen a lot of Kentucky football, a lot of basketball. So yeah. Do I know everything? Absolutely not. Am I? No, I'm not right. I'd be lucky if I'm right 50% of the time. But I enjoy trying to be right. I will take up for us. Yeah, I'm a little unfiltered sometimes. Okay. I shouldn't say curse words. Sometimes I will say curse words. If my mom was alive, she's not. I'm sorry, Mom. It happens. Yeah, look, I react just like a fan. I get mad. I get sad. I get glad. I celebrate. I get mad when we lose. It is what it is. But, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of good channels, and I appreciate that you picked my channel out, and we're going to keep on going. So look, I'll get off here. 23 minutes. That's long enough, Tom. It's time for me to get off. But thank you really. It's been a lot. I've enjoyed it. Is it a lot of work? Yeah, sometimes it's a lot of work. But that's okay. I enjoy it. I'm sitting here in my basement. I get to come down in my basement and make this video. Then I'll go upstairs, and I always come on with notes. I wrote some notes down right now. I try to come on with, a little bit prepared. So anyway, look, guys, let's see how basketball finishes. I'm pulling for Mark Pope. I still am undecided on long-term whether he's going to work out or not, because I just don't like his communication skills, but I could be wrong, and I hope I am. And Will Stein, none of us know, but we're going to find out. Hey, listen, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. We're going to have a good 2026. Football is going to be exciting, so stick with me, because I'm going to cover everything I can. I'm going to make all kinds of videos. If I can think of something that I think you might interest you, then I'm going to put it on there. So, hey, look, I appreciate it. Let's go win some basketball. Let's finish basketball, and we'll talk real soon. Thanks for watching.